get buckets.
What is up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. I got a lot to talk about today, and I got very little battery life on my camera, so we're going to get right into this. There are two topics we're talking about: the dismissal of David Griffin from the Cavaliers and the possibility of Kristaps Porzingas being traded from the Knicks. Let's get it going. So the first story that we got to talk about, which is kind of a big deal, is Dan Gilbert has fired, aka gotten rid of, kicked the can. David Griffin's gone. He's out. The general manager is gone, according to Brian Windhorst. According to Adrian Wojnarowski, the Cavaliers and David Griffin just could not agree on a future, and it is a possibility that they will move in Chauncey Billups, which is kind of weird. Chauncey Billups, I don't know what's weird about it. It's fine. All right, so one of the odd things about this dismissal is Dan Gilbert did not talk to LeBron James before dismissing David Griffin, which is weird because I didn't even realize David Griffin was the GM. I thought LeBron was the GM, and I just thought David Griffin was like a figurehead. He's just a guy. He's like Ty Lue. I mean, there's no reason to have him out there. He's just LeBron James in disguise. So it's kind of weird that they got rid of David Griffin without even consulting LeBron James, and this is further emphasized by the fact that LeBron James tweeted out, "My man David Griffin, I'm sad you're leaving. I was one of the guys who stood for you." And the dismissal is it's kind of out of the blue. And another weird thing is that they also got rid of the assistant GM at the same time. So it's like they're clearing house right before the draft. It's kind of speculative, like what is going on in the Cavs organization. Put on your tinfoil hats, guys, because we're about to dive in. And really, the last person that you want to upset on your team is LeBron James. And according to sources, LeBron is disappointed at Griffin's departure, as well as the timing, and concerned about what this portends for Cavs going forward. Is pretends a word? I'm not sure. It was worth noting that David Griffin and LeBron James had a solid relationship prior to the booting. David Griffin got the Cavaliers to the finals 3 years in a row. Well, that was actually LeBron James. But anyway, they won one finals with David Griffin, and Dan Gilbert is just this crazy guy. I think he's trying to oust LeBron James, or that's what other people are saying, and I'm just regurgitating that because I don't have a mind of my own. But anyway, I think LeBron James is going to be on the outs. So how are people reacting around the league? Well, Bill Simmons says, has to be way more to this Cavs story. You don't just randomly dump your GM right as he's spending the day making big-ass trade calls. So Bill Simmons knows a lot more about basketball than I do, and he's saying something is fishy. Something going on here is not right. And other people like John Clayton, they say 3 trips to the NBA Finals in 3 years. The NBA is a cruel mistress. And also, according to Brian Windhorst, David Griffin was one of the lowest paid GMs in the league at under $2 million a year. So this guy who's getting you to the finals, LeBron James, this guy who's getting you to the finals is being paid peanuts, and now they're kicking him out. And who are they going to bring in but Chauncey Billups? They're going to bring in some guy who wasn't even that good at basketball to begin with. They are clearing house. Trent Ridden is also out, according to David Aldridge. They're trying to get rid of everybody. Who's next? But one of the reasons this is a crazy speculation is because apparently David Griffin was right in the midst of acquiring Jimmy Butler. He was elbow deep, as they say, trying to get Jimmy Butler. It's weird because what does that mean? Does that mean Dan Gilbert does not want Jimmy Butler? Does that mean Dan Gilbert does not want Paul George? Does that mean Dan Gilbert wants to blow up the Cavs? Speculation, of course. It's weird timing because the Cavs have been stated to be working on multiple trade deals to get Jimmy Butler, so why would they get rid of the guy who is headlining the Jimmy Butler trade? It just doesn't make sense. And it's weird that they would get rid of the guy in charge of it because there are other teams gunning for Jimmy Butler. The Wolves, the Suns, and the Cavs are all in the mix, although it is said that Jimmy Butler is frontlining for the Cavaliers, and if Jimmy Butler wants to go, Jimmy Butler goes where Jimmy Butler wants to go. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, here's some tinfoil stuff that I got off Reddit. So apparently they're saying that maybe Dan Gilbert does not want to pay the luxury tax anymore. He is tired of blowing money on fire, wasting money on LeBron. Not wasting, but spending money, and he knows that it's a lost cause. The Warriors are going to win, but LeBron James still wants to build a super team that can fight the Warriors, but there's no way that they can stack up the salaries and not be majorly in the luxury tax and get rid of all their assets, blowing up the Cavs in the future. It's a crazy thing, but you know what? It may be accurate. And next up, we have the New York Knicks and Phil Jackson possibly trading Kristaps Porzingas. Now, I say possibly because we don't know if it's a possibility or not. We just know that, they're kind of butting heads as an organization. They don't have a clue what's going on. I mean, you saw the super team last year. If that's the best super team they can build, then they need to start dishing assets as fast as possible and gaining better assets. Proof is in the pudding. What is going on? So Wojnarowski bombs us again, and he says, sources, as teams become aware Phil Jackson isn't ruling out possibility of trading Kristaps Porzingas, frenzy of interest is growing today. So it seems fitting that they would get rid of Porzingas, considering that nobody from the Knicks organization has contacted him since the exit meetings. What kind of banana stand are they running over at the Knicks where they don't even talk to their star player after the exit meetings? I mean, I just don't understand. That's like moving away from home and then you just never talk to your parents again, right? Right? They're not similar at all? I don't know. I still live at home. Anyway, so it's weird that nobody's talking to him. It's just this disconnect between the organization and the players, and they're treating him poorly. It's like, who runs that? Oh, yeah, James Dolan runs that. Well, no wonder this is happening. The dude is crazy. He doesn't know what he's doing in the NBA. He doesn't know what he's doing in the NBA. And also, if you guys haven't realized, he doesn't know what he's doing in the NBA. And it's weird because when they asked Dolan about the possibility of trading Kristaps Porzingas, he says, ask Phil Jackson about that. So he's deflecting to somebody else. He doesn't want to answer the question because he doesn't know, because Phil is crazy, Dolan's crazy, the organization's crazy. It's just a tumbling fireball of crap rolling down the hill, and Porzingas needs to get out of the way because it's going to consume his life. Woj is also reporting that, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this guy's name, but Phil Jackson met with this guy that they could possibly draft at the 8th spot if they dished out Kristaps Porzingas. There's a book called Don't Leave an Elephant to Go and Chase a Bird. And really, the moral of the story is it's a dumb story. But also, don't go chasing these wild dreams when you've got something great sitting in front of you. So what is going on in this organization is just dumbfounding. But Woj also reports that they're trying to get a frontline guard. So really what they need is a guard. They also need a shooting guard. They also need a small forward, and they also need a center. Really, all they got right now is a power forward, and oh wait, they're about to get rid of him, so they need a power forward too. Knicks, what's going on? There have been agents in touch with the Knicks, and the asking price for Kristaps Porzingas is very aggressive. I can see that. And really, it's been reported that despite how the Knicks are treating Kristaps, he wants to stay in New York because he likes New York and he likes the fans. Wait a minute, Kristaps likes Knicks fans? What fans does Kristaps like? Can we hear that? Knicks fans? Do you know what a Knicks fan looks like? I'm going to show you what a Knicks fan looks like.
Kristaps Porzingas from Liepāja, Latvia. He last played for Sevilla in Spain.
Really, Kristaps? You want to be with that kid? You want to be like that? You want to treat those guys well? You need to get out of New York. Did you hear the boos? Did you hear the boos? And who is this according to? Who said this? Janice Porzingas? Listen, your mom says that they like you in New York. Wait, that's your brother? Your brother's name is Janice? Really? I don't know where we're going with that. The only Janice I know is Janice Antetokounmpo. Anyway, that's all I got. My camera is about to die. That's a lot of speculation. I got a lot of editing to do. Hope y'all guys enjoyed it. This is a crazy time of year. It is when all of the good stuff happens. Like I've said before, I just want to thank y'all for stopping by, tuning in. I'll check you guys in the next video. Catch you guys later. Peace.